If you're ever forced to spend a prolonged period in your apartment, either in lockdown or quarantine, or you ever have to in the future, you'll quickly realize that while you can technically survive on your cupboard, stored foods, dehydrated foods, beans and rice, nothing beats fresh vegetables and plants for their essential nutrition and their psychological boost. So much prepper information is out there about high protein, high starch, calorically dense food that you should have in your supplies. And there's plenty of information about starting your own microfarm if you're fortunate enough to have a sliver or a parcel of land. If you're prepping in an apartment environment, you shouldn't just be prepping to bug out. This may not be an option all the time. You need to prepare for bugging in, and that means to survive an extended bug in. You'll need to grow enough rich plant foods to help you survive an extended period indoors. Please consider subscribing to our newsletter to give you updates and membership-specific content. Visit cityprepping.com/newsletter or click on the link in the description and comment section below to subscribe today. Enjoy the video. This is the second part in a series of 15 through 25 along with my tip for a bigger harvest at the end. If you're watching this video but missed the first one, you'll want to watch that one for information on creating your growing space in your apartment and the first 15 best plants to grow to supplement your nutrition during an extended lockdown. I'll post a link in the cards above and in the description section below. So let's pick up with number 15, mushrooms. It used to be really hard to get the conditions just perfect to grow mushrooms in your home. Add to that the very unappealing fact that you're growing a fungus in your home, and even today the mushroom is overlooked. Now though, there are so many kits on the market and so much more material out there on how to grow them that they're a great option. This edible fungi is rich in vitamin B, phosphorus, potassium, and copper. If you set them in the sun for 15 minutes before using them, they'll carry a very good dose of vitamin D along with them. The real plus for mushrooms is the fact that they can grow so fast, continue to produce, and usually can grow just fine in total darkness. That makes them essential to your apartment garden in a grid-down situation. Consider having a dry kit stored in your prepper supplies. Number 16, carrots. Carrots need a deeper area to grow, but they will grow very well and very long in a 5-gallon pail from your local hardware store. In addition to having a decent nutrition density, you can eat the entire plant. Harvest some of the green tops while the root grows out. You can add them to salads or even make a pesto out of them. Number 17, potatoes. Until this season, I thought you needed a decent size area to grow potatoes. This season, however, I'm easily growing them in a 5-gallon plastic bucket. One potato that turns a little green or has a lot of eyes because it's past its prime can be planted in a pail and yield many more. Many will remember a recent Hollywood blockbuster where Matt Damon survives for months on potatoes. They're a good source of starches and carbohydrates. Originating in South America, there are well over 4,000 different types of potatoes, 200 of which are sold in the United States. The ancestors of the Incans thrived on them over 10,000 years ago. Whatever you grow in the tuber family, don't eat the leaves or any of the green fruits as there are toxins in them. Number 18, sweet potatoes. Along with the potato, the sweet potato gets a solid mention. It has a slightly higher nutritional value than the average potato. It's also loaded with beta-carotene. The sweet potato is also easy to grow with the pellet method, so having one type of tuber plant is really a plus. Tubers will keep for a long time if you keep them dry and out of direct sunlight. Don't wash them when you harvest, only wash them when you're ready to prepare to eat them. Number 19, yams. Yams are not sweet potatoes, though many don't know the distinction. For all the reason tubers are good in your garden, yams are right there too. The terms yam and sweet potato are often used interchangeably in grocery stores, but they are really different starchy vegetables that deliver different nutrient profiles. In most cases, the yams sold in grocery stores are actually an orange-colored sweet potato. Whatever you call your yams, know that they're loaded with nutrients you need and easy to grow. Number 20, dandelion. Another weed makes my list of 25 here. The dandelion was once a staple food in the American diet. People actually cultivated them right out of their lawns. They're loaded with vitamins A, K, and the mineral iron. It grows like a weed, so it'll easily grow in your apartment garden. The flowers, leaves, roots, the whole plant can easily be eaten, and there are a number of recipes online from salad greens to roasted for a coffee substitute to dandelion wine. Number 21, chamomile. While not a nutritional powerhouse, chamomile is easy to grow. In fact, it's said the rougher you are with the plant, the better it tends to grow, so you don't have to treat it with kid gloves. While not devoid of nutrition, it is known for its calming effects, so it's worthy of the list. Number 22, sunflowers. If you can handle the height requirements of sunflowers, they can easily grow on porches. The entire plant from root to flower is edible. Typically, we only think of the seeds. The seeds are a very good source of fats and proteins. Sunflowers can also serve as trellising for your beans and peas. Number 23, peppers. In the interest of time, I won't list out all your options in the pepper category. There's too many. Peppers are loaded with carbohydrates, vitamin C, B6, A, K, E, potassium, and folate. The indoor or apartment gardener has an advantage over the outdoor gardener with pepper plants. Insects love to eat pepper plants, but they have a much harder time getting to your third floor balcony. Peppers are a great patio container plant with a very high yield and great nutrient density. Number 24, kale. Kale grows very well and can be harvested slowly or over an entire growing season. It deserves a spot on the list for that reason, and because it has a good nutrient density score and it's easy to grow. I could have just as easily put mustard greens in here for the same reasons. One big advantage for the urban gardener for this plant is your growing area. Even if out on the balcony, which likely will not have slugs or too many insects, it would feast on these plants in your typical garden. Number 25, turnips, beets, and radishes. I'll finish our list of 25 with these 3 root vegetables. Turnips, beets, and radishes grow easily, and you can eat the entire plant. They have a high nutrition value, so they deserve consideration for your micro-survival garden. You can easily harvest the leaves throughout the season, so you can eat the whole plant over a long period of time. There are so many possibilities for your apartment prepper garden. I could have listed a couple hundred plants, I think, and it was hard to limit the list to just 25. I'd love to hear what you're growing in the comment section below. If you recall from the beginning of the video, I said that I would have a tip for pollinating your plants at the end. For plants that produce a flower, then fruit, you'll want to plant at least 2 and use a Q-tip to pollinate them since you likely won't have many insects to help you do the job. To do this, rub the Q-tip in the flower and continue that process until all the flowers have been gently rubbed. This mimics what a bee would do with pollen in nature. For greater detail on the garden itself, check out my earlier video, but I will leave you with 2 more pieces of advice. While a micro garden may not be enough to sustain you through a crisis, it can easily stretch out dwindling supplies for much, much longer. It can provide you with minerals you aren't likely to get on a survival diet. To take full advantage of an urban prepper garden, you have to start now. You can't really wait until a crisis hits and hope to plant some seeds. You should also look into methods of fermentation and a countertop dehydrator. Don't let one bit of your plant go to waste. Start now to learn how to cook, preserve, and eat the plants you grow. When a crisis does befall you and you find yourself sheltering in place or quarantine, you'll be able to easily ramp up your system and make full utilization of it instead of having to wait 60 to 90 days. Many of the vegetables we buy in grocery stores can easily be grown in our own home. Onions, lettuce, beetroot greens, and celery don't even need to soil or regrow. It's important to remember not to expect high yield from your vegetable garden. This will likely only act as a supplement, albeit an essential one, to your food supply, providing additional flavor and nutritional value to the food you already eat. Plants give us a psychological boost. Sure, they produce oxygen and provide some physiological benefit to us, but the psychological benefit of being around growing things and the psychological benefit of caring for another living thing cannot be understated. This can provide a small boost to when you are bugging in for an extended period of time. This can make your time locked inside feel less like a prison sentence. Having a positive mental attitude and an attitude of survival is one of the most critical aspects of determining whether a person really will survive or perish. Plants can easily contribute to our clarity and positivity. If you found this video informative and helpful, please feel free to like it and share it with your friends, family, and community. If you have any comments or anything you would like to share, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I do read many of the comments and respond to them when I'm able to do so, usually within the first hour of releasing the video. I always enjoy hearing what you're growing and your success stories and your failures. Remember that there are links in the comments section below where you can find more information about the things discussed in this video. If you'd like to be notified when other videos become available, you may want to subscribe to this channel. As always, stay safe out there.